Before we get into navigating, I'd like to cover the parts of the compass and how the compass works. So to help describe all this a little bit better, I went on to Google, picked out a few images. This first image is of just a plain compass. It's a Silva brand. They're pretty good compasses, especially to carry around outside. They are durable and easy to use. So the first thing I want to point out is your magnetic needle. Usually on them, the red points north. Inside of this area right here, you have what I like to call the house. And that comes into play a little bit later in when I'm describing how to get somewhere using the degrees and all that. You have some orientation lines. Then on the outside, you have a direction of travel arrow, which again, this will come into play a little bit later. You have your bezel, and this rotates. And inside the bezel, you have your degrees. On the outside, you have millimeters and inches, which will again come into play later on. To briefly touch on how the compass actually works, the Earth has its magnetic field per se around it. So you have a couple magnetic poles, and for this video, I'll just keep it simple and we'll say your magnetic north pole is where the north arrow goes, which is a little bit separated from the actual axis of rotation. So this is what everybody thinks is the North Pole, and here is where your compass points to. In order to account for that distance between the actual North Pole and the magnetic North Pole, they've created declinations. And if you zoom in, each area has a different declination, and that's to adjust for the magnetic pull of the Earth. Understanding that compasses work off of the magnetic field, it's important when you're trying to travel with them because certain little things can throw it off. For example, if you get close to a magnetic metal, it can throw off the direction that you're going of the compass because it will pull towards that. So on my table, it's a glass table. Right now it's pointing towards north. So if I get it next to the steel leg of the table, you're going to see that it's going to start pulling towards that. Which that comes into play, especially if you're out hunting. The barrel of your gun, depending on the metal, can actually pull the direction of the arrow off, which will make you go into a different direction while you're traveling.